Hi traders, welcome to this week's pre-week market review by Trade Genius Group. We're looking at the Japanese yen pair this week against most of its major counterparties. I will explain why in just a minute. Basically, last week the major reactions in the market included a huge stock market reversal and rally, especially on the US indice, the S&P 500. And the Bank of Japan last week also shockingly added stimulus plans to the economy, and this has seriously once again weakened the yen, taking the market by surprise. Last but not least, there's concern out in Europe and poor outlooks there for the future, which affected the euro negatively against most of its major counterparties. So without further ado, guys, let's get straight into the technicals and look at these Japanese yen pairs. We're looking at the dollar yen first, and then the euro yen, and then the pound yen. Here we see the daily chart on the dollar yen showing a very clear resistance, which was broken last week by the fundamental news. Again, it's December time almost, so October, November, December can see a lot of fundamental influence in the market because volumes are thin and so volatility is high. So you can see this resistance here in the past. I'm just circling it now, and then the breakout obviously here just above 111.17 and has obviously succeeded to break past beyond 112. I think if this monthly candle now, as we've switched here, is basically going to continue into November, then we can expect future highs to be way up there towards sort of 115 and then eventually 120 and 123 plus. You can see there the previous resistances on the top red line, and it's important for you to keep track of this week's daily and weekly chart to see whether or not we reverse this trend and come back inside the previous resistance line that I showed you on the daily chart before this one. So if we go back inside the resistance levels and we carry on in this previous range, then we'll just trend back down for a pullback. If we continue to break out from this level, then you can expect a lot more movement on that trade. Let's move over now to the euro yen, and we can see obviously it's an interesting one because we had negative news out from the euro. So you might have expected that this pair would have sort of been a little bit more counterbalanced given the yen weakness, but seems to me that the yen has taken control of the market here on all levels. We had a euro yen resistance which was on the bearish side down at the bottom. I've circled it for you, and that made a big reversal spike. And since that spike, we've obviously seen a nice move down from 135 levels all the way up towards 140 levels here. This is the shape we're seeing. It's sort of an asymmetric triangle. So we're at a resistance now, making a double top. If this double top can stay intact, then this too will have a possibility to retrace and carry on ranging down towards lower prices, as applies to the dollar yen trade that we mentioned before. If not, this is the make or break price that we're at. And obviously this is a monthly chart now, which we've moved to here. You can see the upside is also quite far off. You can see here higher levels beyond sort of 144, 145 in price. And there was a double top there that I've just shown you with the red line. So there are obviously a couple of hundred pips to go before you retest any of those prices. Here's zoom in on the monthly. You can see it there. There's the double top just around 144. And if we do see a retest of that, then obviously now's the time to go long on that trade. Keep an eye on the daily chart though, because if the double top holds strong, then we'll just see pullbacks and resistances right the way down to 124 again, as we've seen over the last couple of weeks. It did make a sort of attempt to move lower. That's the euro yen, which has been on a bullish rally since 2012. So keep a close eye on that one. Last but not least, traders, we are looking at the pound yen. This is the most aggressive move of them all. So you can see obviously dollar yen, if it moves 100 pips, you can expect euro yen to move at least 150 pips, and then pound yen at least 200 pips. The volatility is far greater on this pair, and we can see here a megaphone very clearly, and again at the resistance level right now. So all three pairs are showing you we're currently sitting on resistance points. I've just circled the reversal spike there, which took place a while ago. And if I zoom out of this megaphone, you can see quite clearly here that pattern emerging. So the resistance is right here just below 180, and the support's all the way down at about 167. Okay, so you do have quite a large range there in terms of pips. that have been traded. So if we see any moves breaking beyond the 180 point, you may as well forget your shorts. And if you see that it corrects in this month's candle back inside this megaphone range, then you can feel more comfortable that this pair is just going to continue to hover between the lines of 180 and down towards 170 and possibly below. Okay, obviously the fundamentals are in favor of this yen weakening. The Japanese have added stimulus of 10 billion extra a year, so they're backing it. But the question is, will it hold strong into 2015? And I think that's quite a big point for traders to be aware of. Okay, we're going to leave it there, guys, this week. Okay, it's been great just to let you know that this week we do have a lot of announcements coming out, and we want you to be aware of them. Obviously, these are focused towards Tuesday's interest rates in Australia, and then obviously on Thursday interest rates in the UK and in Europe. Okay, that's going to affect the pound yen and euro yen incidentally. And Friday, of course, you have the non-farm payroll employment data, which follows the ADP non-farms that come out on Wednesday. Okay, have a great week and trade safe.